Now, if I were to stop you in the street and say, what did the Romans ever do for us? You may say, well, Jules, they gave us roads, amongst other things. But the inhabitants of this county would probably disagree, because hidden beneath my feet here in this glorious park are the remains of the world's oldest man-made causeway. So stick around as we take a very well-trodden path for today's Escape to the Country. On today's show, I'll be helping a couple with big natural ambitions find their very own land of plenty in the country.
Must-haves in terms of land are 10 to 30 acres.
And they've high hopes of making big bucks.
We want to create a business that can turn over £100,000 plus.
But can they see the wood for the trees with our mystery house? Well, today we're in Somerset, and these extensive reed beds behind me are part of the Shapwick Heath Nature Reserve, and this causeway that I'm trying to negotiate is known as the Sweet Track. This is a reconstruction of many that have been found here, dating back to 3800 BC. But the good news is that for today's trawl through the West Country, we've got some bigger roads than that. Commanding an enviable position on the southwestern arm of England, Somerset's ancient landscape varies hugely across the county. From Cheddar Gorge with its spectacular limestone cliffs and caves, to the grass wetlands of the Somerset Levels, crowned by Glastonbury Tour, which, as the reputed Avalon of Arthurian legend, is an ever-popular place of pilgrimage. Despite over 16 million visits made by tourists to the county every year, Somerset's towns and villages keep their integrity intact, thanks to their distinctive local architecture, from the blue lyre stone buildings of Somerton to Martock, built from hamstone. As a result, there are rich pickings when it comes to seeking out a perfect property in these rural pastures. Now, here in the West Country, property prices run around about 8% above the national average, which means your average detached will set you back a cool £177,000. Land, well, that literally is like gold dust. Nationally, land is outperforming gold in both real and current terms, which means your average acre will set you back anything between £5,000 to £10,000. Add into the mix a gorgeous country house, and you can see that you are going to have to come down here with some pretty deep pockets. But as ever, well, there's plenty on offer. Spend top whack and £1.5 million and you'll get this 5-bedroom Grade 2 listed manor house in Boroughbridge, which exudes Georgian grandeur and impeccable style throughout its interior. And it's 2 for 1 here, with an additional 2-bedroom barn offering up a cool contemporary space to chill out in. All this set in 15 acres of impressive grounds. On the market at just under £700,000 is this 4-bedroom barn conversion in Wedmore. The high ceilings in the living room complement the exposed beams. The open-plan kitchen and breakfast room leads up to a mezzanine snug. Outside the 1.5 acres of land, look out onto open countryside. £425,000 will buy you this renovated 2-bedroom roundhouse in Withiel Flory, originally built in the 1860s as 2 cottages. Its curved walls are a running theme throughout its light, bright bedrooms and living room, with a colourful kitchen adding to its individual charm. So if that lot has inspired you, well, you're in pretty good company, because that's exactly why today's buyers want to make the West Country their new home. Ben, a headhunter with a degree in conservation, and Natasha, a company PA, along with 6-month-old Troy, are ready to ditch city living and their flat in London and start a campsite business in Somerset.
We'd like to establish a campsite in the country. I think a mixture of pre-erected tents, things like teepees, shepherd's huts. I quite like the idea of wood-burning hot tubs, ideally fed from spring water or something along those sort of lines.
So that's the tubs, but what about the house?
2 reception rooms would be good. One for us and one for Troy and all of his toys. Large kitchen is quite important for me because I like baking. I mean, you love cooking too, don't you? And must-haves in terms of land are 10 to 30 acres.
And the location has to be right.
We're looking at 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours from London. Ideally on a holiday sort of route, naturally we've been looking towards Wiltshire, Somerset, that sort of area.
So views and space are the driving factors with this one.
The setting's really important for us, as idyllic as possible. Ideally a mixture of woodland and water, maybe a stream or some lakes, and well screened from the neighbours, something that we don't get around here.
Yeah, it's important that we're a walk away from a village.
Yeah, and a good
and
pub.
a decent pub.
Yeah.
Now we've got Troy. At Christmas it'd be great to have everyone over and, you know, if we had an annex or something, but just having everyone under one roof where we can all, you know, spend Christmas together would be great.
We're definitely hoping for a bit of a good life, trying to grow as much fresh produce and fruit and veg as we can, maybe have a few chickens and some eggs. I'm actually a big fan of chilies. We've got about 12 different varieties now. Tash bought me some different seeds for Christmas last year. Not having a chance really to grow them in our current garden, but with any luck we can do that out in the country.
Well, it seems they've got it all planned out, along with the finances. The money from the sale of Natasha's flat will go towards the deposit, and they'll be letting out their flat. So what's the budget for the move?
The budget for our new property is £800,000.
You know, on the face of it, the kind of property that Ben and Natasha are looking for sounds fairly straightforward. 3 bedrooms, 3 reception rooms, and all for a pretty healthy budget. But throw into the mix this whole campsite idea, this whole lifestyle change they're trying to take on, and all of that within 2.5 hours of London. That's going to be tricky. This campsite's going to take a lot of planning and preparation and money. I wonder. It's a tall order, this. As Ben and Natasha have such a demanding brief, we're casting our net wide to ensure we show them the best options on the market. So with North Somerset at the heart of our search, we'll not be deterred from looking across the borders to Wiltshire and East Devon. I'll be showing them some enticing properties, but as ever, I won't be revealing the price tags straight away. And finally, there's the mystery house, which will really test their passion for a project to the limit. Hi guys, nice to see you.
All right,
Hi Jules.
Welcome to sunny Somerset, albeit a bit chilly first thing in the morning, but it should get warmer. It's a great day to start looking at some houses. Whose idea was it? Camping?
Well, it's something we've been looking at for some time, something we enjoy doing ourselves, and I think it's just the time's right for us as a family to make that change, step out of London.
Well, let's have a think about the budget, because, I mean, you know, you are trying to bite off quite a big chunk of the West Country. What's the maximum, absolute maximum?
Well, if there's an existing business in place, which I think in an ideal world that would be what we're looking for, we could probably stretch it to about 950,000.
Wow.
If we are talking just land and house, then we're around up to the sort of 750,000, 800,000. Above that, it'll be a bit much.
I mean, how practical are you? How much effort are you prepared to put in to actually creating something and getting your hands dirty?
I think ideally that's what we'd like to do. You know, for us it's the setting that's important, so finding the right spot and then building on it from there.
I do hope we can get you what you're looking for. It is going to be tough. We're going to have to cover a fair few miles, but we're used to that sort of thing. So let's see what we can find you.
Great. Excellent.
Ben and Natasha's base budget comes in at £800,000 for just the house and land, topping out at £950,000 for a property with an established business. Essentially, they're after 3 bedrooms, a large kitchen diner, 10 to 30 acres of land on which to grow their campsite, and the whole thing wrapped up in a setting to die for, 2.5 hours away from London. You know, the picture of this, you know, happy campsite with you two working from home and Troy growing up, running around and enjoying the constant change of people coming and going and the seasons. I mean, it's a very romantic idea.
It is. I think it could be very idyllic. I think that's, you know, if we can make it work.
It will be hard work. I mean, let's not forget that. It's going to be sort of all hands on deck and a lot of work to get where we want it to be.
Our first house is in a great location in the village of West Lidford, around 2.5 hours drive from London. Set in beautiful countryside and with the likes of Wells and Glastonbury close by, it's well located for their camping business, with practical amenities and local charm. Its church is surrounded by a cluster of attractive properties, and the local stone is a feature of this one. What do you reckon?
It's quite pretty
It
on the
is.
outside.
The core of it, that's about 1725. And this is a feature of Somerset, blue lias, this stone that you've got. On the right there, those 4 windows are a new extension. In the last 10 years, it's been doubled in size,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay.
Blends in quite nicely though, doesn't it?
The setting's not quite perhaps as I had pictured it.
Okay.
Proximity to the road and neighbours.
I mean, one of the things I know you're interested in is a certain sense of isolation, but you also want a sense of community and a pub, and you really want to get involved in the local community, don't you? So, to a certain extent, you know, neighbours and so forth are sort of part of the territory. Certainly with this property, anyway.
Yeah.
Come on, let's have a look.
Let's see if they like the feel of the interior as we go straight into the old part of the house.
In you come. Grab the door, Ben. There. What do you think on the inside?
It's quite cosy.
It is.
Really cosy. I mean, what about you, Natasha?
For me, I mean, it's a bit smaller, it's a bit dark, but it's the first room we've seen, you know. Let's see how the
Well, let's see how it goes.
The fireplace
opens
is
up.
nice.
Yeah, the fireplace is lovely.
But if you want light and space, dining room through there.
Yeah.
Off you go. After you. There. Again, we're still in the old part of the property. Do you get the sense, Natasha, that it does get a bit lighter as we go through?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's continue through here.
Downstairs is deceptively large and, as we'll see, is a perfect blank canvas.
Now, I think in this third reception room, things get a lot more contemporary.
Yes, definitely.
And this is the new extension.
Okay.
Not only a whole new reception room here, but above us, purpose-built study
Right.
for 2.
Okay.
Yeah? Very nice. Which I'm going to let you two explore on your own later on. Is this the sort of layout that would appeal?
I think so. Obviously, it's not necessarily all to our taste.
Yeah, sure.
But it's only going to take a lick of paint.
Yeah,
And it's in very nice condition. It's really well made.
Who's the real interior designer here?
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
OK, so obviously
It's a joint
debate.
effort. It's a team effort.
A team effort.
Team effort.
OK, one team, one dream. Yeah, brilliant. All right.
I'm glad they're starting to appreciate the space on offer in the 3 reception rooms. And the kitchen definitely builds on that.
OK, Natasha, come on in. How about this?
It's nice, it's very new.
It's another addition to this property. It's the, you know, we've got one over there and this one as well. You know, it gives you loads of light space. I mean, nothing, you know, as kitchen diners go, it's one of the lightest that one would, you know,
I like this a lot.
It is lovely.
kind of see.
Yeah.
Very generous utility room through that door as well, with the downstairs loo in it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a nice space, isn't it? I mean, it's all finished to a really high spec.
Yeah.
So time to head upstairs and check out the 4 potential bedrooms, which include a large light double with a bright modern family bathroom next door. There's also a quiet space to retreat to in the attic with views over the garden. But will they like the master bedroom?
Wow, look at all this.
Oh, lovely.
There's all this. Oh, look, you see, Natasha's come to life. Loads of storage. And then this is your master.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's perfect size.
And a really cool ensuite. Have a look in there. Ben, open that door. His and hers. There you go. Have a look. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice. Nice having an ensuite.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Shower and
Lovely big shower.
And there's even more cupboard space in the room next door.
Now then, it's not often you get a master bedroom with its own very generous dressing room. How much clobber have you got?
don't
Enough to
ask.
fill a dressing room.
Enough to fill it. I mean, whatever you want it to be, but it's here.
This could be Troy's room.
Could be. Actually, great nursery
Yeah.
attached to
Be
you.
a nice dressing room.
Finally, this house is winning them over, with plenty of space to accommodate their family and fulfil Natasha's dream of Christmases spent together. With the house covered, let's step outside to take a closer look at the land.
At last, you're thinking. The great outdoors.
The more formal gardens and lawn wrap around the house so Troy can run around to his heart's content while they take 5 on the patio. Set away from the house is a double garage and a large hay shed, definitely useful storage space for tents and other components for their business. Down to the field now to check out the land and meet some new furry friends.
Look at these fellas.
Oh, they're great, aren't they?
Aren't they? They're so curious. I love alpacas.
They're beautiful.
They're amazing, aren't they? Now, all in all, it's about 4 acres.
Right.
So it's not the 10 or the 30
Yep.
that I know you have thought about, but it gives you a sense to get an idea of what 4 acres looks like. What are your thoughts on on setting as such?
My gut feel is that this is not going to work, I don't think. There's not enough features. It'll take too long to start putting in lakes, and by the time they mature...
I mean, how much do you think you need to turn over to make this work a year?
Ultimately, we want to create a business that can turn over £100,000 plus.
And it'll take a little bit more than 4 acres.
Well, let's have a think about what we're up against in terms of the market, because the price of this, I think, will be quite an interesting factor in determining how you progress through what else we can show you.
Yep.
Make me an offer, Natasha.
695.
Oh, crikey. Yep, it's a very cheeky guess.
I say,
Go on.
Yeah,
I think it's a little on the cheeky side, but I would say it's probably closer to 765.
765.
Right.
OK. Actually on the market for 835.
Probably says a lot about the area as well, I would imagine.
This part of Somerset is much sought after. There is a nice geography to it. Go and have a good look around. Go and get a sense of what we're up against financially.
Yep.
And I'll catch up with you later.
OK.
Off you go.
Great, thanks.
I'm going to go and talk to these alpacas in a minute. Brilliant. Well, there we are. It is all about location, as we like to say in the game, but this one is really tricky because their requirements are so specific. Finding this other world, this other life within a beautiful corner of Somerset is going to be pretty tricky, despite a pretty healthy budget.
This house is all about location, and on the market at £835,000 would give them quality over quantity. And as they've never run a business like this before, it's a manageable size, offering them 3 reception rooms, a large kitchen diner, great for those family get-togethers, with 4 bedrooms and a master ensuite. It's also got 4 acres of land for a potential campsite, subject to planning permission, which would depend on the impact on neighbours, the landscape and highway safety. So will the quality of the setting outweigh the quantity of the land?
I was a bit surprised by the price. It was a bit of a shock to me, but it's a lovely area as well, so you have to take that into consideration. Okay, it's nice and light up here. Lots of storage space.
A smart desk. It's a nice
Window's
view.
lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see us using this. I think it's a beautiful house. Very well presented. Clearly it has been done up to a very high spec. But without the land, without the correct size of acreage, we're just not going to be able to develop a business big enough to, frankly, to be able to pay for it. Beautiful.
Well, I've been out thinking about this house. You two are just sat here enjoying yourselves.
Just
It's a nice day.
Yeah, well, isn't it a nice day? Plenty more to do, mate. Come on, off you get. Let's go and see some more.
As Ben has a degree in conservation and both are passionate about nature, they couldn't have picked a better area for their campsite. But the Somerset Levels are not just a nature reserve. Historically, it was through their rivers that the county's wealth grew. They're meeting council officer Alex Sherman in Langport to find out more about the symbiotic relationship between this town and the River Parrett.
This river really is central to the success of Langport growing as a town. Originally it was known as a cloth-producing town in medieval times, but then more recently it was successful in its trade for corn, salt and with timber.
Langport means long marketplace, and by the 18th century the town was indeed a thriving commercial hub. So much so that the local Stuckey family founded Stuckey's Bank in 1770, becoming the country's second largest after the Bank of England.
Somerset people had a saying that they would trust the Somerset Bank as much as they would trust storing money in their old sock. And maybe that's something we could teach bankers today.
Another historic sign of wealth lies a couple of miles outside the town at the medieval remains of Muchelney Abbey. Along with educating the locals on farming practices, Benedictine monks were very commercially savvy, with location being key when it came to building their monasteries. Some intriguing features remain, despite its unfortunate demise.
Well, the abbey was destroyed in the dissolution of the monasteries in 1538 that was led by Henry VIII. But you can see the care and attention that's been spent on the site with the richly decorated cloister walk and the thatched lavatories for the monks, which is the only example of its kind in England.
So just as in medieval times, it's all about location. And as far as Ben and Natasha go, they couldn't have picked a better area to start their business. Our search for the perfect place continues, just over the Wiltshire border in the hamlet of Brokerswood, a 2.5-hour drive from London, so still within limits. As well as a welcoming pub close by, their happy campers could feel at one with nature in the 120 acres of woodland within its country park. And I've got high hopes that the acreage on offer with our next property could give them the business turnover they're looking for.
OK, our second port of call. Come on in, guys. There we are.
Very nice.
What do you think?
Yeah,
That's pretty.
lovely.
The only issue from your point of view probably is the neighbours right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of what we're trying to find you, you know, the market is really tough at the moment.
It is.
But I think the land this offers is quite interesting, which is why we're going to start this little house tour slightly differently. We'll start outside.
Let's walk the turf, passing through a wonderful orchard with apple trees which could act as a natural screen from the neighbours. But the land earmarked for the campsite lies beyond.
There. Now this is a really, really, really useful paddock, this.
Yeah.
In terms of your kind of casual campers,
Yeah.
you know,
It's fairly flat. It's good.
that
It's
sort of
good.
thing.
Yeah, I think so.
You know, there's access from the lane up there too. Right, let's go and have a look at that house. Let's go and get creative
Okay.
and see what kind of a project you want to take on. Come and have a look at this.
Now there is even more land to tempt them with later, but now I've whet their appetite with what's on offer, let's head back to the house and see whether they feel they could put their mark on the interior.
All right. Come on in, we'll start in here. Main living room, I suppose one would say.
1970s.
Lots of this pine cladding everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think really what we're looking at is updating
Yeah.
more than anything. But the key thing is to think about, you know, is the space.
Yeah, the size.
Yeah.
Time to cross the hallway and see if the kitchen measures up.
There. What do you reckon?
Well, it's nice and big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is one of the rooms that really sells this house, actually,
Yeah.
to be fair. That through there is the extension, about 40 years old or so. But in terms of size and space,
Yeah, it's a lovely size, isn't it?
it's
Yeah.
not bad, actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting to see what other land there is.
Yes.
But you know, so far so good.
Yeah, OK, good. Well, there is the upstairs to come and a bit more land. Yeah.
Excellent.
They do seem eager to press on, so let's head upstairs to check out the 4 bedrooms. One large enough to be a double for guests, a single room possibly for Troy, and a small room currently set up as a study. There's also a bright family bathroom, with another a bit more public in our next room.
And then this is the master.
Okay, it's a nice
Yeah.
size.
Yeah,
Good
it's
size.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is interesting, though. This is the ensuite. The only thing is, of course, it's something to share. This one, you know, clearly. I'm not
to be
sure
married
how
before we
you
do
feel about the open plan ensuite.
I suspect Natasha would rip it out and make it into a clothes room.
A dressing room.
Yeah.
A dressing room. Last but not least, a bit more land. We've already seen, what, 6 acres or so. How much more have we got? I wonder. Come with me. Plenty more.
Well, they do seem geared up to the idea of putting their own mark on this place, but it's clear that what they really want is land. A short stroll up the lane, there's another plot that could also be used for camping or to put up some more permanent structures in the future.
So, last but not least, is this bit. When I say bit, there. Well, let's go in. Come and have a look. This is about 13 acres.
OK.
So all in, it's 19 acres. With a bit of planting, a bit of management, etc., etc. You know, in terms of the long-term plan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in developing something from nothing, you know, this is quite a nice piece of land, actually.
Yeah, it could be good. Could be quite interesting.
So let's have a think about the money.
You're going to go first this time.
It's a lot of land, but the house needs a bit of work. I would guess somewhere in the region of £760,000.
Interesting, yeah.
725.
725. Well, it does begin with a 7.
there.
It does begin with a 7. OK. £785,000. So actually, you weren't far off, really.
Yeah.
Off you go. Go and explore.
Yeah.
I'll catch up with you later.
Okay.
Well, it has to be said, as house searches go, this one is proving particularly difficult, and here's the reason. We're not actually looking for a house, we're looking for a landscape, and that is the real trick here. Finding this ideal enchanted campsite with a house thrown in is a real mission.
Under budget at £785,000, this property, in their words, certainly has potential, offering them a large kitchen diner, 4 bedrooms with a master ensuite, some outbuildings and 19 acres, providing a diverse setting for their camping business, subject to planning permission. But could the proximity of the neighbours be a stumbling block?
The house is nice, the gardens are lovely, and I really like the orchard. But yeah, it's just the plot of land. I don't think it's quite right for us.
What do you think? I mean, I'm sure we could do something with it.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting a lake, not a pond.
That's true, but we could perhaps extend it. We certainly need to dig it out.
Yeah.
The house itself, once you come inside, there's a lot of potential here. I think if the land had, a mixture of woodland and a bit more water, then it would be pretty much on the money.
Well, that's it. Second property done and dusted. Tired?
A little bit weary.
Weary?
Yeah.
Time for a glass of wine and some supper, I think.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Make a wish.
As the sun sets over the southwest, the first day of our house search draws to a close. With a top budget of £950,000, we're on a quest to find Ben, Natasha and baby Troy enough land in Somerset to fulfil their ambitious campsite dream. So far, they've seen 2 properties, but coming up, our mystery house could bring on cabin fever.
Great, can we stay there? Yeah.
Well, as you can see, the sun is still with us on this, the final day of our house hunt here with Ben and Natasha. Now, to be honest, I think yesterday was a little bit frustrating. We talked a lot about trying to find a lifestyle, but in truth, we are really trying to find something of a dream, the idea of this magical and enchanted campsite within 2.5 hours of London. Well, our final property is upon us. It is, of course, the Mystery House. As ever, it's designed to challenge our buyers, and this one goes to the very heart of what this search, I think, is all about. Just how far are they prepared to go to make their dream a reality?
So, Jules, where are we off to today?
Well, today it's Mystery House time. We are going a little way out of the window that you were perhaps thinking of to try and get you something which I hope will fit the bill a little more.
In order to show them something different, we're crossing over the Somerset border for our mystery house to the village of Bampton in Devon, somewhere they would never have considered. Although it's a 3.5-hour drive from London, it still has huge holiday appeal, set right on the edge of the Exmoor National Park, with the independent shops in Dulverton making a great place to stock up on supplies. Our mystery house is a one-off opportunity, which comes with its very own spectacular landscape set in a conservation area.
OK, the Mystery House, Natasha. What do you think?
Not bad so far, nice size.
It's brand new, pretty much.
Okay.
It is, to some extent, work in progress.
Yeah.
OK. You can probably tell from the outside, it really is a blank canvas in the true sense of the word.
Okay.
So let's have a think about context.
Yeah.
This kind of dreamy Narnian world of camping that you're planning on. One thing we haven't seen in any of the other properties is a sense of geography.
Yeah.
OK. What we've got here is a house slap bang in the middle of a 50-acre quarry.
Wow.
Fantastic.
So if you were thinking of clients and holidaymakers and so forth, you can squirrel them away without them being on top of you.
Yeah.
Yeah? Come on.
Okay.
So let's dive inside and see if they can use their imagination to put the finishing touches to the interior.
Right, in you come. Hallway.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah, very nice.
I say it's work in progress. Some bits are
Some of it's...
completely finished. The staircase, as you can see, it's a timber frame building.
Yeah.
Just clad on the outside. And then this, I mean, as you can see, the bare bones of a great big kitchen diner.
Yeah.
Perfect, and by the looks of things, some rather attractive
Can I
views.
check out the view?
Yeah, well, we'll get to the view in a minute. Yeah, there is. Don't you worry.
You're holding his
Don't you
back.
worry. There are plenty of views to be had. Yeah. But come on, Natasha, excite me. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Yes.
Yeah. Can you see this working for you?
Yeah, completely.
Come on, let's continue.
Leading off the kitchen is a separate dining room which flows through to another reception room.
So off of the dining room, from the kitchen, we've got this huge living room, which
really nice.
I think is really, really useful as a space.
Yeah.
That's a very nice size.
It is.
Continues the views.
Well, it's gorgeous, isn't it?
It is.
You know,
Amazing.
and through here, you know, purpose-built conservatory, etc. So you can make the best of it, whatever the weather.
Yeah.
Smiley face, Natasha?
Yes, yeah.
All good. What are your kind of what wheels are turning?
I just want to see more. I can't wait to see the rest of it. So it's like, come on.
Right, come on.
They are champing at the bit, these two, so let's put them out of their misery and explore the 3 bedrooms upstairs.
Now, upstairs is a little more finished than downstairs, I guess for obvious reasons. You want it a bit more comfortable, so there's carpet and so on and so forth. This is the master.
Wow. Look at the view.
Yeah? Little Juliet balcony there,
Yeah.
offering you views right across. It's Devon.
It's got the Alpine chalet feel about it, hasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Would this work? Could you imagine waking up to that?
I'm not sure I want to get out of bed, but...
Well, you lie in bed and just enjoy the view. And it's also got a very generous ensuite. Just put your heads in there and have a quick look. Yeah?
That is a good
Yeah,
size.
that's really nice.
Yeah? And
Another
another view.
Another
Yeah.
amazing view.
Also off the landing is a similar bright modern family bathroom, along with a second large bedroom for Troy. And there's a surprising store next door.
So this is bedroom 3. Although, it's got all this.
OK.
Something of a sort of a holiday let, if you like.
In the short term, it could be just useful
Yeah.
additional income whilst we get up and running.
Well, you certainly use it while you're tricking up the kitchen.
Although it'd be, judging by... That looks quite a nice little spot out there.
This
and
is
it might
great.
be a travesty to give it away to somebody else.
Well, that's a great spot. You know, it really gives this house another layer outside. Yeah, something for you to ponder, this particular room. But so it is technically a bedroom, but it leads onto this. I think this is really interesting. There.
Wow.
What a day as well. Great day to enjoy this place. I mean, as you say, that alpine feel kind of comes through here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's a stunning view.
Isn't it?
Stunning.
It's great. And it's a great spot, actually, to get some sense of this 50-odd acres. You can see the top of the quarry there.
Yeah.
There's a little track above that, and it goes off to... Can you see that deciduous woodland up there?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all yours. Comes right down. Can you see that green clump of woodland?
Yeah.
OK, that's your boundary that way. And then the bulk of everything is over there.
OK.
The best part of 30-odd acres that way. Managing this stuff is an important part of taking on this property.
Yeah.
really. The other thing to point out, I guess, at this stage is the level of conservation that the current owner has been able to kind of instill here. You know, the trees are growing up, the plant life's coming, we've got badgers in here, foxes, deer. It's a really important site.
I mean, frankly, that's something we'd be very interested or keen to continue. I mean, I've got a conservation background. Not that I've had a chance to practice it much in central London.
Now is your chance, mate.
Now's
Yeah.
the chance, yeah.
Yeah.
It's great that they're up for a grand conservation project, but if they're feeling lost in the wilderness when it comes to getting their business going, they need not fear.
But this, I think you're going to find really interesting. Check this out. Look at that!
A little log cabin.
Very nice log cabin, actually. It is currently, you know, generating quite a decent income.
Yeah.
OK, so got some existing holiday let business.
Yeah. In fact, there are 2 of these.
Okay.
One's down here,
Yeah.
one is up there. You can explore that one on your own a little bit later. Currently, the 2, you know, operating at about sort of 60% of the year. They're not really pushing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 20 grand a year
OK.
is coming
That's
in
a
off
good
of these.
starting point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the weekly cost is anything between sort of 400 to 700 quid.
Good base.
It
It's
is
a great
good
base. It's a really good base.
Yeah.
Come and have a look at it.
It's like a sturdy
It's great.
cabin.
Yeah, it really is sturdy. And nicely appointed, as you'll see. Look at
Wow.
this. Imagine coming here on holiday.
That's
Really
great, isn't it?
nice.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah?
He's done a good job on this.
Great quality.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Kitchenette there,
Well appointed.
bathroom through there, bedroom, etc. You know, so it is all here.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, go on, off you go. I'll leave you to it.
Thanks.
I'll meet you outside. Well, I am absolutely delighted. I've left them in there enjoying this wonderful lodge. If nothing else, this entire 50-acre site, I hope, will have given Ben and Natasha the right sort of idea as to how their life down here may take shape if they're able to pull it off. But this is a really, really interesting spot.
Wow, second bedroom, it's really nice size.
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a complete surprise. Wasn't expecting this at all.
No.
Hey, out you come. Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, that's great. Can we stay there? Yeah.
You stay where you like. I mean, take your pick. You've got this one, and of course you've got the other one up at the top of the hill, which I'm going to get you to have a look
That's
at
a real surprise.
a little bit later.
That is fantastic.
It's building a picture, isn't it, as to what life may entail.
Yeah, and it's a stunning spot. Really is. Great.
Well, we have really only just touched the surface. I mean, but, you know, notwithstanding that, I'm going to get you to guess the price. It's going to be quite a challenge because you have only seen a bit of it, but take it from me, there's a lot more to this place than meets the eye.
Okay.
How much do you want it?
It's got to be at the top of our budget. I'm going to stick my neck out and say around 950.
950.
965.
965.
I'll put it out there.
Oh, 965, yeah. Top end.
It is top end.
Natasha?
Well, I was going to go a lot lower. 875.
875. If it was 875, that would be brilliant, wouldn't
That
it?
would be amazing.
That would be good.
If it were
I'm hoping as well, I think.
775, it would be perfect.
That would be very interesting.
775?
775.
Wow.
Wow. It is.
The only obvious issue for you is how you take this forward with the local authorities and the planners.
When have you signed?
When you sign. Well, listen,
do the deal now.
You've got a lot of research to do on this one.
We've got to speak to the authorities.
But I think it's one that should definitely be at the top of your list.
And there's promising news as the current owner has already cleared a 1-acre site and is seeking planning approval to put up yurts in the future. So have we hit the jackpot? Under budget at 775, our mystery property would give them 2 reception areas and a conservatory, an enormous kitchen diner, 3 bedrooms with a master ensuite, views in every direction, and an incredible 50 acres of woodland set in a conservation area, with existing holiday lets, giving them a stable income of around £20,000 a year.
I like the house a lot. The situation's fantastic. It's a very fair price. There are obviously a few issues that I need to overcome or need to address with the planners. This I can really see potentially as the property for us.
Yeah, the location is great and it's beautiful. The views are amazing. It's 3.5 hours out of London, so it's further than we've been looking. But I mean, when you get here, it's well worth the extra journey. I mean, it's beautiful. 11 out of 10, I think.
Can you imagine bringing Troy up here?
Yeah, definitely. We need to Troy-proof it, but as he gets older, he's going to love it.
Yeah.
Troy-proof it, did I hear? What a place, though. He's going to love growing up here.
Oh, imagine him walking around on his quad bike.
Yeah,
indeed.
Endless dens.
If this is the place, I wonder. We've shown you a lot, we've travelled a lot. Let's go and sit down and have a chat about the rest of your lives.
I'm passionate about preserving our architectural landscape, and the West Country serves up some distinctive gems on its churches, many of which are in danger of perishing. These unusual squatting creatures are known locally as hunky punks, and during the week, historian Peter Points Wright took me to the church in the village of Isle Abbots to find out the story behind some of these decorative figures.
What are we looking at? That one on the left looks extraordinary.
That is a Nanking dragon.
What sort of date are we talking about?
From 1520 or thereabouts. The Chinese silk route had been set up for 200 years by then, and silks and porcelain were coming in with those designs on them.
They do look very fragile, Peter.
They are. There's a limited time left for them, 20, 30 years.
Really, that quickly?
That quickly.
But if we can find the money, help could be at hand, and hunky punks may have a future, because the restoration skills are alive and well at places like the Wells Cathedral Stonemasons Works in Cheddar. Ryan Brunt is one of its directors, and he's showing me around.
This is terrific, Ryan. This is exactly what I expected a busy stonemason's yard to look like. I mean, you've got all kinds of stuff in it. Look at that. Quite familiar from many a church.
Yeah.
Are you restoring that or copying it?
This one's being restored, but we're also making another 4.
So you really are, investing in techniques that haven't changed much in hundreds of years.
And the good news is that young people are taking up masonry apprenticeships, among whom is Artisan Apprentice of the Year, Samantha Peacock. So what attracted her to stone in the first place?
It's an extremely dexterous material, it's very dynamic, you can do a lot with it, you can carve, you can restore, you can do the banker masonry, Yeah, it's a very creative trade. It's brilliant.
And the finished article is living proof of the immense skill and artistry needed.
Ah, this is gorgeous. This is presumably a new version of what we saw out in the yard.
What we saw outside, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you call it? What's its technical name?
This is a pinnacle.
Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Right, OK. Now, this is a straight copy, but when you're restoring things, do you come across ancient marks, ancient mason's marks?
Yeah, traditionally, a mason would put his mark after he'd finish a stone. It's hidden, but when you come to replace it, you'll take the stone off of it, and there his mark will be.
So what's yours? You're a master mason. Have you got a big mark?
I've got mine tattooed on my arm.
Where? You got it?
An R.
Brilliant. R for Ryan, of course.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, it's been a really interesting insight, Ryan. Thanks very much for showing me around. Clearly, restoration is in good hands if we can find the money.
Exactly, yeah.
Ben and Natasha's epic property search is at an end, and I think we've given them a lot of different options to mull over. The show is very nearly over, but we have, of course, got decision time to come. Now, has this one been agonising for Ben and Natasha? I don't think so.
How are we doing, guys?
Pretty good.
Relaxing?
Yeah.
I think a really interesting little trip, this one. Let's have a think about where it all started. That much extended farmhouse with the 4 acres and the alpacas. What do you make of that one, Ben?
It was a beautiful house, and frankly, we couldn't afford it. It didn't offer us the potential to grow a business on the property.
Yeah. Well, then we took you off to another converted farmhouse, but with a gorgeous orchard and a bit more land.
I mean, I like the house. I thought it was quite pretty. The orchard was very nice.
Yeah.
The orchard
Little
was
pond.
lovely.
I think what killed it for me on that side of the property was the fact that it was overlooked by the neighbours. I'm not sure what they would have thought about us having people camping on their doorstep.
So then we took you off to the mystery house. An old quarry. Many would say, oh, it's a bit industrial, I don't want that. But for you guys, a very interesting proposition.
Well, I was amazed, really. I think it was a slice of heaven, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we could well be.
A slice of heaven?
Yeah.
Oh, does it go to the heart of what you've been looking for?
Exactly along the sort of lines we're looking at.
Every house has its buyer. Has that one found its buyer?
Well, I mean, we'll have to speak to the planners and find out a little bit more. But it's got those, you know, the holiday lets, so it's got some income coming in.
So it's really going to take the pressure off, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of work that needs to be done, but can be done over, stage by stage over the coming years.
Well, guys, very best of luck. I think it's a really interesting proposition. Clearly, you've got a lot more homework to do. Some very detailed discussions need to be had with the planners and the local authorities. But, touch wood, all things being equal, I hope it's the one.
Thank you
and
so
let us know
much.
how you get on.
We will do.
Thanks for your help.
Here's to you.
very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, what a house search this one has been. I have to confess, I wasn't entirely sure if we'd get there in the end. I'm pretty sure both Ben and Natasha felt the same way too, but we have had some really interesting surprises along the way, some real whoppers. They set out looking for a home in Somerset. Well, it looks like they've ended up in Devon. They wanted a campsite, they've got a quarry surrounded by 50 acres of glorious woodland. Now, of course, there are still some very difficult and complicated negotiations still to come, but if they get it right and they move in, next time I'm in Devon, I know where I'll be staying. I'll see you next time.
Ben and Natasha made an offer on the mystery house which was accepted, and they're in the process of seeking planning permission, so hopefully they'll be moving to Devon soon to start their new adventure. If you'd like to escape to the country in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland or England and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.